Hi guys, my name is Harshita Reddy. We will studying in Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering, first semester, Honda section. The subject is applied chemistry and my topic is sensor and type of sensors. What is sensor? These are the humorous definition as to what a sensor is, but I would like to define a sensor as an input device which provides an output signal with respect to a specific physical quantity. The term input devices in the definition of a sensor means that is a type of bigger system which provides an input to a main control system like processor or microcontroller. Here you can see a different type of sensor: color sensor, ultrasonic sensor, IR sensor, and temperature sensors, etc. Now the classification of sensors. There are several classification of sensors made up by different authors and experts. Some are very simple and some are very complex. The following classification of sensor may already be used by an expert in the subject. By this very simple classification of sensors. In the first classification of sensor, they are divided into active sensor and passive sensor. Active sensors are those which require an external extension signal or a power signal. For a passive sensor, on other hand, do not require any external power signal and directly generates output response. The other type of classification is based on means of detection used in a sensor. Some of means detection or electrical, biological, chemical, radioactive, etc. Different type of sensor. The following is the list of different type of sensors that are commonly used in a various applications. All these sensors are used for a measuring one of the physical properties like temperature, resistance, capacitance, conduction, heat transfer, etc. First one is temperature sensor, IR sensor, light sensor, ultrasonic sensor, smoke gas and sensor, alcohol sensor, touch sensor, and color sensor. Now I am going to explain one by one. First one is temperature sensor. One of the most common and most popular sensor is the temperature sensor. A temperature sensor, has the name suggests, senses the temperature. It measures the changes in the temperature. This is a temperature sensor which can changes the temperature. Now temperature sensors can be analog or digital. In an analog temperature sensor, the changes in the temperature corresponded in the temperature to the change in its physical property like resistance or voltage. LM35 is the classic analog temperature sensor. The next one is infrared sensor, IR sensor or infrared sensor or light-based sensor that are used in a various applications like proximity and an object detection. IR sensor are used as a proximity sensor in the almost mobile phones. This is the IR sensor reflective type. Ultrasonic sensor. An ultrasonic sensor is a non-contact type device that can be used to measure distance as well as velocity of an object. An ultrasonic sensor works based on the properties of sound waves with a frequency greater than that the human audible range. This is the detection of ultrasonic sensor. The next one is smoke and gas sensor. One of the very useful sensors in a safety related application or smoke and gas sensor. Almost all offices and industries are equipped with a several smoke detectors with a detect any smoke due to fire and sound and alarm. Gas sensors are more commonly in laboratories, large scale kitchens and industry. They can detect different gases like LPG, propane, butane and CH4, etc. This is the sensor of smoke and gas. The next one is alcohol sensor. As the name suggests, an alcohol sensor detects the alcohol. Usually, alcohol sensors are used in devices which determine whether a person is drunk or not. The law enforcement personnel uses to catch drunk and drive culprits. This is the alcohol sensor. The next one is touch sensor. We not give much importance to touch sensor, but they play a very an integral part of our life. Whether you know or not, all type screen devices, mobile phone, tablets, laptops have touch sensor in them. Another common application of touch sensor is a trackpads in our laptops. Touch sensor has the name suggests detect touch of a finger or any stills. Often, touch sensor are classified into resistivity and capacitivity type. Almost all modern touch sensor of capacitives types of has the more accurate to have a better signal to noise ratio. This is the touch sensors. Now the next one is light sensor, sometimes also known as a photo sensor. Light sensors are the one of the important sensor. A simple light sensor available today is a light dependent resistor or a LDR. The property of LDR is that is a resistance is a inversely proportional to intensity of a ambient light. When the intensity of light increases, its resistance decreases and it is vice versa. This is the light sensors which can detect all types of light sensors. The next one is color sensor. Color sensor is a useful device in a building color sensing application in the field of image processing, color identification, industrial object tracking, etc. The TCS3200 is a simple color sensor which can detect any color and output a square wave proportional to a wavelength of a detector color. This is the color sensor detector. Now the next one is humidity sensor. If you see weather monitoring system, they often provide temperature as well as humidity data. So measuring humidity is an important task in many applications, and humidity sensor help us in achieve in this. Often all humidity sensor measure relatively humidity, a ratio of water content in an air to a maximum proportional of a hair hold water. Since the relative humidity is depend on the temperature of air, almost all humidity sensor can also measure the temperature. This is the humidity sensor. The next one is tilt sensor, often used to detect the inclination or orientation. Tilt sensors are one of the simplest and inexpensive sensors out of there. Previously, tilt sensors are made up of mercury and hence they are sometimes called as a mercury switches, but most modern tilt sensors contains a roller bar. This is a tilt sensor. Thank you.